So today we are talking about 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 1 through 9. And in this story, we learn about the characters of Samuel and Saul the king. So Saul was the king of Israel, and this took place in 1050 BC, so before Christ. And the Lord told Samuel to command Saul to attack and destroy what we call the Amalekites. So the Amalekites, they were another nation of people who really disobeyed God. They didn't listen to what God told them to do. So God said it's time to punish them. So that's why he told Samuel to tell the king Saul that he should just destroy the entire nation. So he took Agag the king, so King Saul. At first he was like, okay, maybe I should destroy everybody. And Samuel told him, now go and strike Amalek and devote to destruction all they have. Do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, child and infant, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. So basically what this means was Samuel told Saul, King Saul, not to spare a single soul. So none of the Amalekites. He wanted every single person, every single animal dead. But King Saul decided not to listen. Why? Because the people over there, so the people told King Saul, why would you kill all these nice animals? You know, all these delicious cattle, all these delicious lambs and sheep. It would be such a waste to kill them. And why would you kill King Agag? It would be so beneficial. So King Saul said, oh yeah, this is a very good idea. So what happened was he only listened to partially of what God told him to do. So he only went halfway. So has anyone gone halfway? Anyone? For example, how about Cameron? Has there ever been a time when your parents told you to maybe clean your room and throw away the garbage, but you only did about 50% of it?
Well, maybe. I think I did.
So why did you only do 50%?
Probably because it was a lot of work.
Yeah, because it was a lot of work. You know, it's hard, right? You need a break, right? So, yeah, when we are listening to the words of God, we should always go all in. We should go 100% all the time. We should never try to go halfway just because it would be convenient to us or just because we think it's too hard, right? And up next, so Samuel got very angry at King Saul. So he decided to confront King Saul and asked him why. Why did you only go halfway? Why did you spare all these animals? Why did you spare King Agag? And King Saul, he told Samuel this. So first of all, Saul said, this is not my fault. This is your fault because this is not my God. This is your God. So I'm only listening because you're telling me that this is your God and I'm only being told what to do. So he was blaming Samuel, saying, yeah, this is not my God. And he said, all these animals will be great sacrifice to the Lord. So why waste all these animals when they can be such a great sacrifice? And other than that, he was basically saying, this is not my fault at all. So let me ask all of you, has there been a time when someone maybe tried to convince you to do something and you thought it was a great idea, but then you got in trouble later on, and then you started to blame that person who originally gave you that idea? Let me give you a story. So this is when I was like maybe 5 years old. My sister had what I thought was a fantastic idea at the time. She said, let's buy a bag of water balloons, let's fill them all up, and let's throw them at all the kids in the neighborhood. And I thought this was an awesome idea. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so fun. So we started like filling up all these water balloons. We started throwing them at every kid in the neighborhood, and we were laughing. And of course, we got in a lot of trouble because everyone in the neighborhood got wet. We were wet. We came home. My dad said, what did you do? What happened? And I said, oh, this is not my fault. How could this be my fault when it was my sister who gave me this idea? So all of us, when we are listening to the words of God, or even when we are talking and listening to other people, and maybe they are trying to convince you to do something, and maybe it might lead to a bad plan or a bad idea, we all have a choice, right? So we don't have to do the bad thing, and we should never cast blame on others either. So all in all, everyone, so don't blame others when you sin. So if you do something wrong in your life, never try to cast blame on others, because like I said, we all have a choice. So if you think something is a bad idea, then don't do it. And always think about the consequences. And Don't just pick and choose what you think is convenient to you when you are listening to the words of God. So for example, how many of you think, oh, I don't need to come to church every Sunday because I'll go to heaven anyways? Or, oh, I don't need to pray every day because, God's going to let me to come to heaven. Or I don't need to worship because I think that's useless. No, all of this is actually in the Bible. So we should all come together as a group, as a community, as family, and we should all worship the words of God. That's the only way we can go to heaven. And we should all come together. We should all help each other out. So all in all, everyone, let's not go halfway and let's go all in and listen to the words of God all the time. Amen.